Hey, and welcome back to Right Hand Drive, guys. I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
Yo.
And we are live for episode 52 from Tokyo Auto Salon, the infamous Tokyo Auto Salon.
Yes, dude. I've been seeing this event since I've been into cars, man. Like
Forever. 20 years
dude.
ago, we were looking at this.
Yes,
so
dude. It's insane.
to finally be able to attend in 2024 has absolutely been a dream. But the dream doesn't come without cost. It's a very, very, I don't know. It's
some work to get here,
yeah,
right?
It is.
Like
it
from
is.
one, just finding this place, being foreners obviously in Japan, finding our way here and getting in the correct line to park. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of it's a lot. It's work. It's work, 100%. But with hard work comes great reward, right?
Absolutely. And so, you find your parking and you get your ticket out, you register your info, you scan your ticket, and finally you're at the Messe.
Yeah.
And the Messe is a huge convention place with 11 halls that honestly takes you quite a while to kind of get through.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
And so we originally came on the first day, which was kind of industry people only, and then it turns into the whole public, right?
Right.
And so we spent a few hours here yesterday, and we kind of got a lay of the land.
Yeah, for sure.
And we didn't really get to see everything, and so we come back on the second day, which is today, Saturday.
Right.
It's probably right now about 4 a.m. if you're on the East Coast.
For sure.
And so we finally made it through everything. We finally seen everything we want to see. And so we're sitting down. We're in the back corner of Hall 11 at the very end of Tokyo Auto Salon.
Yeah.
There's about an hour left.
Right.
There's about an hour left. So we're kind of just going to walk you through it, walk you through what we saw, what we loved, some of the things that really made Tokyo Auto Salon well worth the 13-plus hour flight, all of the hassle, the ticket money, everything.
Yeah, all that.
So, again, right now it's Saturday. I don't know what time it is here. What time is it here?
What time it is? It's 6 o'clock here,
6
yeah.
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
We got here around 3 o'clock today, I think it was.
Around 3:30, so.
And the parking wasn't as bad as yesterday because a lot of people have kind of gotten this out of their system. But let me tell you, there are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people here right now.
Oh, yeah, there is.
And it's amazing. And I love Japanese people. Japanese people are awesome. They're kind. They're courteous. Unless you get them into kind of this situation, right? And it's not a negative thing on Japanese people. To be completely honest with you, I think they're just extremely pumped.
Yeah.
You can see it in their eyes. They just want to get to that next booth that's iconic.
Right. They want to get that picture. They want to get that video.
They really want to get that picture.
They want to get that model standing next to their favorite car, holding their hands up with the peace signs, in the short skirt. Dude, the whole thing.
The whole thing.
You've seen the pictures before. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
And we've been trying to get here since we were young, right? Like 20 years we've been seeing this. And that was one of the iconic things was, the girls on the cars and the models and the matching outfit with the brand.
Right. And the new builds that everyone comes out with.
Yeah. And so, you could call it the SEMA of Japan, right? Just a different, Don't
give SEMA that much credit.
Right. Just for you to compare. But it's a lot different. So I feel like, not to say it's more professional, but it's way better put together.
100%, yeah. And it's huge. I mean, personally, I've never been to SEMA, but, I mean, dude, it's insane how big this place is.
It is insane. And so pretty much what happens is you get through and you got Hall 1 through 11. And Hall 1 through 3 are all in the same building, and it's where a lot of the big boys are. I would say a lot of those well-known brands that you kind of come to expect from Japan.
Yes, exactly. When you walk into that first hall, there's not a brand you haven't heard of.
Absolutely. And so when you come and you have a huge oversight of the hall, and so you can see everybody's big balloons they got hung up, and you can kind of spot the booths and all of that. And I would say my focal point as soon as I come to those stairs was Greddy Trust and HKS.
Yes.
They're just immediately right there, and they have huge boosts.
Yeah.
Like huge boosts. You have boosts ranging from, a 20 by 20 space to Nissan's like 200 by 200.
Dude,
like
the
insane.
Nissan booth was insane, dude. And like they didn't have even really that many cars in it, but they just had a lot of space, and like they really put on for Auto Salon.
They
for
definitely
sure.
do. They have a big shop. They do have some cars, but like you said, I feel like a lot of their cars, the Nissan cars, are spread throughout Tokyo Auto Salon.
Right.
Not so much at their booth.
Right. They had more or less like, some of their new concept models. I mean, stuff like, we really wouldn't be like really into.
Yeah.
But someone's into it. For sure.
What's funny, I think is funny, is we're at Tokyo Auto Salon. Of course, all of the new stuff is here.
Yep.
All of the brands have, like you said, their new builds.
Right.
But Nissan didn't have the Hyperforce here.
No.
Which is kind of interesting. And we can, we did get to see it, though.
Yeah.
We were very blessed to see it, but not
Don't leak
here.
it out yet.
I'm not. So that'll be for next episode. But I was kind of surprised that they did what they did with it.
Right.
And because this is a huge stage. This would be the exposure for that. But they did have a lot of their new stuff. And so, again, you see HKS. They have a whole big shop. They have all of those iconic cars here. I was a little bummed that we didn't get to see the, that the R32 race car.
Right.
But I'm hoping we get to see it in a few days, but we'll keep that again. So what was on that first haul? What would you say, what caught your attention for brands?
Well, definitely, coming in the stairs, first thing that caught my eye was HKS.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of HKS. I'm into their stuff. Like, love it. So I was like, we got to go to HKS.
Yeah.
There was also Exetti clutches.
Yeah.
They had a pretty decent setup.
And Blitz was right next to HKS and Trust.
And I believe it was Blitz, had a car that was turned upside down to show the exhaust. I believe that was Blitz.
Yeah.
And it had the full exhaust on it. I'm like, well, that's a tough thing, dude. You're bringing in an entire shell of a car to flip upside down on a rotisserie type thing to just showcase an exhaust.
And so that's a good point. And literally as close to where we're sitting, these people bring in everything. Like, this is a full out, like, for these vendors, this is a full out event. So it's literally right next to us. These guys built walls, legitimate walls, sheetrocked them, mud them, tape them, sand them, paint them. They build a little building inside of here. And, probably I would say 8 out of 10 booths are like this, completely custom. Some have like the cars rotating on a stage.
That was pretty wild.
Yes, and then some of your bigger manufacturers like Toyota, they constantly have new people coming up on the stage and they're interviewing them, and race car drivers and different stuff like that. So to even stop and listen to that is like hard because there's just so much going on. And people brushing past you and like running you over.
Dude,
so you don't even want to stop because you're afraid of what will happen, But another one that in that first hall was Yokohama.
Yep, Yokohama and Advan.
Yeah, they had a really
nice
display.
They had two separate booths.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So they had a really nice display. And, at a lot of these booths, you're going to have a ton of merch, a ton of those exclusive accessories that you're not able to just find online. And so what I felt like is you see a lot of guys loading up on this to take back to the U.S.
Right, or back to their home country.
Wherever it is.
Australia, wherever they're from.
And, we say that because there's a lot of foreigners here.
Yeah,
there's a lot,
is.
including us. Don't get me wrong, including us. But there's a lot of foreigners here, and it's kind of wild because there's a lot of Japanese here, too, especially today. Yesterday, I noticed a lot more foreigners. Today, you got people off from work. They're coming out. They got their cameras around their neck.
Oh, yeah.
They're ready to have the Auto Salon experience.
Yeah, they are.
Dude, Smoke Dog.
Smoke
Dog. We got to see Smokey yesterday.
Oh, my God, dude.
And, I had seen him at ours meeting. Cool. And yesterday he was there and
slinging the merch.
He was It was
Dude.
like he was just another worker, another, kind of retail person.
Yeah. I mean,
He was
dude, like,
folding stuff up. He was doing the whole thing.
whenever I saw him, he literally stopped me in my tracks. I was like, he's actually here. The homie.
Yeah.
Like,
So that was cool. And Top Secret, oh my gosh. Well, if you're watching on YouTube, we're overlaying this footage constantly. But man, Top Secret brought out the whips, dude.
Yes, they did.
Like, their booth is on point. And then they, again, have that exclusive merch that I like at ours meeting. They had some of that.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, at Tokyo Auto Salon, they released some stuff that you could not get. I personally picked up a pair of Puma slippers that were Top Secret. I couldn't help it. I'm not even really into slippers and stuff. But I was like, dude,
you got to, right?
I know.
You're like, I guess I got some garage slippers now.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, absolutely. And I wish I could have gotten him to sign them, but I really didn't want to bother him.
Yeah.
But that booth, top notch.
Yes.
And so I know you had heard of them. I personally hadn't. Maybe some of you guys definitely have. But Crucci. That was a cool setup because they had their R34s with the VR38 in them.
Yep.
And then they also had the DCT in the 34s.
Yeah, and they had a pretty sweet display for that. They had an R34 that was jacked up on the side. They had mirrors up under it and like a whole thing explaining it because you might not even recognize or really notice what's going on under the car, but it was, the R35 DCT, transmission in an R34 with an RB26 still.
Yeah.
So that's some work, and that's one of those things that they're kind of like famous for. And they're really big into drag racing over here, and they also had a 400Z that was pretty cool that they've been working on. I believe it was out last year, but it looked like it was a little more refined and finished this year. So that was pretty cool to see.
And they throw RBs in 35s, right?
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. Yeah.
So yeah, Cruch was really cool to see, or Crucci, whatever it is. Dope ass dudes. How about that? Yeah. So that was another one that I kind of spent some time at. And yesterday we had Jesse Awuji with us, and he was walking around and kind of we were all going through it, right?
Yeah.
We were all just spitting everything.
Yeah,
so
chopping it up. Yeah, it's cool to discuss this.
Yeah, it
type
is.
Of stuff.
And so another big old booth was Ray's.
Oh yeah.
In the 1 through 3 hall, Ray's was a really nice booth. They brought out all the wheels. They brought out the cars.
Yep.
Again, some exclusive merch. And that was really cool to see how these different brands that we've either shopped with or idolized, they really bring the A game out here.
Oh yeah. I mean, dude, Up Garage. Up Garage set up an entire Up Garage with these parts
there's an Up
and
Garage
all.
here.
There's literally an Up Garage set up.
It's crazy.
And it's legit. They also had their NSX race car out that was
that's
sick.
sweet. You see it on the walls when you go to Up Garage. The NSX race cars, on the TV and on the walls. And then I turn around and you were looking at it, and I'm like, oh dang, that's
the
like
one.
the one. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was cool. Like, I always like to look at people's setups as far as like their booths and just like their structures and stuff. It had this crazy lighting like structure above it, just like beaming light down onto it. It was just like, like it was just so sweet.
And again, they go all out. Like it's wild, like you said. Yeah, like almost like the infrastructure of this place.
Yeah,
because some people will have lights shining on the wheels. Some people will have lights from above, and they're all like kind of taken together, they really put some pride into this stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So, coming through, basically the halls have like these little temporary tunnels that will go, 1, 2, 3, then has a tunnel to 4, 5, 6.
Right.
And so this tunnel is blocking you from the outside.
Yep.
And then you come through it, and it's like
a whole other one.
Oh, wow, this is crazy. And when you come from 1, 2, 3 into 4, 5, 6, the first thing you see, Urus.
Yeah, no, that was the first thing I saw, 100%. Dude, I was like, Urus, dude, we got to go. And he had his like street legal spec R34 drift car out in the booth, just straight flex, dude. It was, man.
Dreams, right?
Dreams, right, dude. I've idolized that dude for so long, and like whenever I was first getting into drifting, he like Urus and Kindamura was like all the ways the guy that I would always look for on YouTube, and always look forward to him goofing off in all the option videos and
the 4-door Skyline.
And the 4-door
that was iconic. Dude, I remember that.
Yes,
for sure.
And that is literally the reason why I'm into 4-door Skylines is because that's what he drove.
Yeah.
So like, and then I'm looking at the car, and then I'll look over at the booth, and I see him. I'm like, no way, dude, he's here.
He was.
Here.
And he's like the coolest dude.
Dude, 100%. So, I mean, their booth was like, they just had that street spec car and then his son's, number 3 D1 spec car in the booth. And, man.
Yeah, it really was. And so it was like, and it was very homegrown, grassroots. Like they have kept it, like all in the family, so to speak, right?
They kept it small,
Yeah, and even his wife and or the mom, however you want to look at it, is in the booth helping out. They're slinging shirts, they're doing the whole thing. And one of the coolest things that I found about that was, this guy's been there, done that, dude. He's been doing this forever.
Yeah.
He's at the booth, he's signing every single thing. Every single thing.
Dude, he's signing it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to do that, dude.
No.
He doesn't even have to be here.
He doesn't.
He doesn't have to have a presence at all. It's still going to sell, dude. Monkey Magic, dude.
It's still
he's the
sell.
Freaking man.
So that was really like grounding in the sense of like you can be that big, you can be that cool, right? Yeah. But you're literally still that cool that you're willing to do it.
Yeah.
And so the first day we grabbed a few things, he signed them.
Yep.
It was really sweet. Today when we came back, like we pretty much headed right there, and we're like, is he still going to be there? Is he still going to be there?
Yeah.
He was still there, and he was still just as cool. I wanted a Nabori. They had no more Naboris left. He's like, pull it down, because it was 2 on top of the booth. He's like, pull them down. Let's go.
Yeah.
They go. They get a ladder. They pull them down for us. I'm like, what? He signs it. I'm like, yes. The son signs it.
Right.
We thought about having the mom sign it.
Yeah.
Like we were just like, dude, this is so cool. And so you got the pair of coveralls.
Yeah.
You got the last set of those.
Yeah.
I
got a selfie with him, dude.
Yes.
He made a goofy face and the little thing.
Yes. It was so cool. He's like holding the mark. Like it was just, just one of those real cool experiences.
Dude, he's the man.
Yeah. And I would say, that booth, even though it's the smallest and it's not the craziest, gave you the best feeling.
Yeah, because he was there, you know, and that was just the way that, just the way you could interact with him, and even though there's a language barrier and all that, like,
he knows. Yeah.
He's, dude, by far, probably one of my favorite experiences from this trip was getting to meet him and getting, some of the merch signed, and one of my favorite booths and experiences from Auto Salon for sure.
So props to the monkey, man. He really he killed it for us. And so when you go out into that hall, one of the other huge booths, just about the same size as Nissan, was the Mugen Honda booth.
Dude, yes.
And they had their HRC cars out there, and man, they killed it. And they
had bikes too.
They had bikes. They had a ton of exclusive Mugen merch. And if you're a Honda head, like you were over there, and we spent quite a bit of time over there. I didn't pick up any merch. It didn't work out, but I definitely was admiring all of.
Did they have an
stuff.
F1 car there too?
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah, and so it was just really cool to see these cars that you've seen in magazines, on DVDs, on YouTube over the years, and they had them right out there. And they had a few of their concepts as well that they were kind of giving you a little insight on what's coming.
Right. But they definitely had way more race cars and way more cool cars, I guess you could say, than Nissan for sure.
Yeah, and so, beyond these big booths, Mazda had a huge booth as well.
Yeah. Didn't really look at that one much. Mazda's.
Yeah, I mean, but
they had some cool roadsters.
They put the effort in.
Yeah.
So props to them for that. But for us, it wasn't really all there. Autobox.
Yep.
Same as, a little different than the way Up Garage was doing it because
Right.
obviously they're selling new stuff. They did have like an A-pit side.
Right.
So you could purchase some things that you may need,
Right.
And then they had the straight Autobox side, which had some race cars at it and
Yep.
some other cool stuff.
And a bunch of EV. They had an EV side as
Yes,
well.
they did. Yeah, they
It
had
was
like
all EVs.
all EVs, some Hyundais and some other stuff. So that was also, really cool to see. SS Active had they had both of their carbon cars, and then they had their R33 out.
Yes, they
That
did.
was super cool to see because if you don't know who SS Active is, they create some of the coolest carbon cars,
Yeah.
like full carbon cars.
Yeah, they've
Like-
been bringing those around, to all the big shows for the
Yep.
past couple of years. And, dude, it always blows my mind just seeing those carbon cars and just, dude, how they were so meticulous to get all that carbon fiber weave on every single individual panel to line up. And just,
Yeah.
man, those cars are just,
Gorgeous.
they are
like,
next level.
I'd love to sit shotgun in one of those, like on a track.
Yeah.
Just to see the difference, between your standard 32 with some upgrades and the carbon 32.
Right,
Like
yeah.
how different's the handling? How does that less weight affect everything? It's a whole thing, and they were really cool over there. I ended up picking up a titanium strut tower bar for
Yeah,
the
you
34.
did.
I'm still carrying it around. Luckily, it's titanium, but man, let me tell you, with this crowd, I'm like, it's tough. But I had to grab it.
Had to.
We were at Omori Factory earlier. I almost copped the Nismo one, but Aaron said, nah, dude, wait for the SS Active. I did. I'm happy I did, even if I do got to lug it around.
Yeah. Worth it.
Yeah, and they were really cool. The owner was over there.
Yeah.
Same type of thing.
Yeah, taking pictures, talking to people, doing little interviews with
Yep.
everyone.
Answer any question you had. And that's what I really love about the Japanese. Like, they really do have the patience, and they
Right.
really do care about that interaction, each one.
Yeah. I feel like, some of these tuners and like people in America, they're kind of stuck up and they won't come out to some of these events as much. They won't talk to you as much. But,
Right.
dude, I mean, you're literally talking to the guy that built
guy.
some of the sickest R32s, 33s. And I heard he's going to be working on
Doing
the
a
34s
34.
next. So,
Yeah, no, he's like very cool. And so Vertex also showed out pretty hard. They have a whole retail, like merch, steering wheels, you name it. They pretty much had it out there.
yeah. And they had a couple of their drift cars, their newer, is it Lexus or Toyota, whatever it is, drift cars out, which were always
Very cool.
always a cool sight to see because they're just a very classy company. Like,
they are.
they just have very nice touches on everything that they build and everything that they do. So, yeah, it was cool to see their presence out.
Yeah, and then, of course, Tane was out there.
The greenest booth in the place.
Yeah, you can't miss it. They got the Dampchi or whatever the little doll is. And, and, of course, these companies have all of their products out, and they have them ready on display so that you can check them out.
Right.
It's really quite cool that they put all this together. Speaking of Tane, Olin's, same thing.
Yeah.
Olin's
had a
you can see
sick
all their
display.
suspension. They literally had
in
every
the
car.
nicest display cases
Yes.
too. Like, and it was all lit. They had every single bit of info you would need, and it's just so nice.
So it's like, this is the type of place. It's like, okay, I want to build a car. Like, I'm going to come to this place and I'm going to look at all these products. I'm going to meet the people that create these products.
Yeah.
I'm really going to be able to make some cool, educated decisions
Yeah.
on what I want for my car.
Yeah.
And so, beyond that, dude, Liberty Walk, oh my
Dude,
Lord. Dude.
I thought we were walking into a club when we hit their section. Their section, not their booth, their entire section.
One
Dude,
of the largest, it rivals Nissan, a car manufacturer. It rivals Honda, a car manufacturer.
Yes, dude. And, they brought everything out from a big rig completely done up. Dude, all the way down to an F40.
F40, Lambos, Countach, dude.
Man, dude.
Yes.
And they had music blasting in the place, dude. They had, a little VIP section. People were hanging out back. It's like,
They
what
had,
is
an
going
80-foot
on
long
here?
screen that's behind the booth.
Yeah.
That's, pumping the coolest graphics. Dude, and I wasn't a Liberty Walk fan, right? I guess
Right.
I didn't understand it. I'm not saying I'm like I'm a huge Liberty Walk fan, but now I understand it, right?
Yeah.
Like I understand how they've meshed culture and cars, and
Yes.
they've created a following. I'm going to tell you something right now. I have not seen more merch walking around Tokyo than I have of Liberty Walk. Dude.
I've seen so many Liberty Walk jackets, hoodies, shirts.
Dude.
Like, dude, everyone has their Liberty Walk swag, and dude, they're trying to get in there.
Yeah, like we had to literally fight to get this merch. We
Just
had to
about.
fight to get up to the counter, and so it was really cool. What are those little bears?
The Bear Bricks or
Bear
something
Bricks,
like
yeah. And so they've even collabed with them, and they have all of these different little collabs, these models.
Yeah.
Today, the owner, the creator of Liberty Walk, was actually signing
that.
them.
Wataru Kato.
Kato was out signing these things for everybody. It's really cool. Like that connection gets even deeper with the brand when you can actually like meet the guy.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
he signs your stuff and says arigato gozaimasu. You know, you're like, damn, this is cool. So, but like Liberty Walk, I would say, like best section overall. Like they had
Yeah.
the best. Like they came hard.
They brought it, dude.
Yeah.
They brought it hard. And, you know, people showed up for it, too. They were sold out of some of the stuff already on the first day, within the first hour.
And you know they didn't bring just 10 or 20 of these
No,
things. They
dude.
brought hundreds, thousands. Like,
Probably, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. Whew.
so, like, yeah, major props to Liberty Walk for showing out for Tokyo Auto Salon.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so that's like, you know, 4, 5, 6 is where these guys are, right? That we've been discussing. And then there's 7, 8, which is a little smaller one and has a little less stuff. And then 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
And 9, 10, 11 is in like a whole different building. I would say a newer building, like probably the second one that they built once these type of events got bigger.
Right.
And that's where we currently are now. And so you got companies like Apexi.
Yep.
Uh,
Apexi was here. Craft Sport.
Craft Sport.
They brought
brought
some heat, dude.
Some cars.
And you
Oh
can't
my
even
gosh.
get close to them.
Yeah, no way.
And good reason,
400R,
for good
M-Spec
reason.
Ner,
Yeah.
Midnight Purples. Dude, they just...
Dude, the AR2 GTR,
yes,
R34.
Yes,
Like-
the rarest of the rare. We heard
They
a
brought
few
it
of
all
them are global auto cars, but like regardless, the display was amazing. They had placards for each car telling you
Yes.
everything about the car. No prices. No prices, but
Yeah, if you got to ask, you don't need to know, I guess.
yeah, that's absolutely true. And you know, so that was really cool to see all of these iconic, you know, pretty much GTRs all in the same place.
Dude, every single one of those cars belong in a museum.
Yeah.
100%.
It was like a museum over there,
Yes.
pretty much. There was, you know, we had the Origin Labo.
Yep.
We got to see their drift cars. They had 3 drift cars out there.
Naoki Nakamura was out.
Nakamura was
dude,
there.
standing right behind his car, shaking hands, kissing babies.
Yeah,
taking
literally.
pics, like, dude.
It was crazy. I'm like he blessed the kid.
I'm like, dude, it's the man.
Yeah.
I had to go get a selfie with him.
Yeah, which is, you know, really cool. Like, again, for the 90th time, these Japanese guys get it. They get the connection that the consumer or the culturist brings to what they're doing.
Yeah.
Without us,
Oh, yeah.
there's no them.
Right.
And they truly get it here, and that's something I can really, really appreciate.
Yeah.
We stopped by BN Sports.
Yep, being sports, you know, they have a little bit less of a presence, I would imagine, that they did in the 90s, you know,
Right.
when the big flared bottom body kits were all the rage, which,
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I think they're still all the rage, so I had to, that was one of those spots I had to hit.
Stop by, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they had a beautiful car out there.
Yeah, they had a red R34, imagine GTT.
Yeah.
Slam had one of their kits on it. Had the chick on the hood, you know, doing the peace sign and
Oh,
all the
dude.
poses for everyone wanted to take a pic.
Very cool, yeah. And Valino.
Valino tires, yeah, they had 2 booths.
I know. I'm like,
I was confusing.
we stopped by the first one.
Yeah, and it
then-
had the first one had, you know, brake pads and all their parts, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And then the second one was on the complete other side in the corner, and that's where they had all their merch type stuff, their stickers. I copped at one of their famous tire ashtrays, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. And then D-Max.
D-Max was here as well. Again, not the hugest booth, but, they had their classic blue painted up livery cars.
Yep.
I believe it was an S15 they had out there. And, yeah, man, it's just so cool to see some of these companies that, have been in this game since the 90s. They're still out. They're still producing parts. They're still producing these aero kits.
And some of them don't need a big booth, right? Because just like you and I, some people are going to search these places out.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to, like we said, we got to stop by BN Sports. Small booth. We stopped by. We found it because we know them, right? They don't even need this huge booth anymore. Right. And that's what's really cool is there's still room for these brands that don't need the huge booth.
Yeah, 100%.
And I really like that. So, I mean, dude, we try to keep these things around 30 minutes, just so it's easy to digest.
Right.
We could sit here for an hour, 2 hours, and really deep dive,
Literally.
Go through our pictures, really, really describe this for you. But we want to give you a broad outlook. We know you're going to see some YouTube videos, some Instagram stuff, all that.
Oh, yeah, it's all dropping.
Yeah, totally cool. We want to give you something live on the day, something to kind of take in and hopefully inspire you to make the trip. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, if you can, make the trip because this is an awesome experience.
Yeah.
This is something, again, since childhood, since, teenagers. Like, you would see these videos. The DVD would come out. The Tokyo Auto Salon DVD would come out, and you'd watch it. And man, to connect that in 2024 has really been like a blessing. It really has.
Yes, it has, man. It's really been an experience, and I've loved every minute of it, dude. I'm going to be talking your ear off about this thing for months.
For months, yeah. And so, now what for us? Well, Tokyo Auto Salon kind of we've been through it. We've walked through the halls multiple times.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
We don't want to overdo it. We could come back tomorrow, but I'd probably go broke. Honestly, I'd probably go broke.
Dude, you're going to have to get 2 freaking new suitcases to carry all this merch home with you.
You're stressing me out. Yeah, no, you're not wrong, man. And it was hard. It's hard not to, right? Because you're here, and the stuff is right there.
Yeah, I always say, the exchange rate, right?
Yes.
The exchange rate. It's
that's
so
what I'm
good
going
right
to tell
now.
my wife. I'm going to be like, the exchange rate, babe.
They pretty much made me buy they needed my dollars. The exchange rate. I'm boosting the Japanese economy. This is what they want.
And that's really what it's all about. Supporting the people that really gave us something to look forward to, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, every yen I spend, dude, I'm smiling. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh yeah,
because
me too. Take my money.
Right, because we've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for this, and yeah, when you get here, you got to do the full experience. So come on out. Like, seriously, come on out.
Please do.
I mean, don't come out and be a crazy foreigner. That's all
don't
we
do
ask.
that.
Don't do that. Show the Japanese man respect, even if they step on your shoes 87,000 times.
Dude, right?
Push through you. Just brush it off. But come on out. Come out to Tokyo Auto Salon.
Yeah. And love every minute of it.
Yeah, love every minute of it. Take it all in.
Yeah.
Because chances are you're going to meet somebody that you always wanted to.
Yeah.
And you're going to see these cars that you've been looking at for years.
Right. 100%.
But for episode 52, live from Tokyo Auto Salon, I'm Bobby. This is Aaron.
See ya.
Peace.